Alright guys, so we've all had time for everyone to calm down over the fact that the main character in a popular TV show is soon going to be played by a woman. Some reactions have come out like this.
No, this is the worst news ever!
But is it? Seriously, I don't get what's wrong with this. Jodie Whittaker is a phenomenal actress who has appeared in the likes of Broadchurch, a film with the late Peter O'Toole, and I even came across a short film on YouTube called Dust, which has the late Alan Rickman in it, and it's really great. I highly recommend you give it a watch after you're done with watching this video. Jodie should have no problems carrying Doctor Who onwards and upwards when it makes its return for Series 11. When you just look at her in Trust Me, which was shown on BBC recently, she is superb. The only thing which will stand in her way once she has become the 13th Doctor is her writing, because, to be honest, when it comes to writing Doctor Who, it's either really good with stories like World Enough and Time, or really bad television with stories such as The Eaters of Light. Seriously, am I like the only one who just didn't know what the fuck was going on by the end of that episode and got most excited for seeing the Next Time trailer at the end?
What are they?
A Montasian Cyberman. Give us a kiss.
Anyway, point is, Jodie Whittaker has a phenomenal record. She has a good filmography under her belt already. She has potential to become one of the most beloved Doctors that there has ever been. What we have is someone who can really act, and I'm really excited to see how she's going to play a character who has been played by a male for over the last 50 years. We've had 13 males play this character. This is like probably the biggest change that we've ever had. I've already said this in a previous video. In addition, I'm excited to see how Chris Chibnall is going to handle the series as the head writer and showrunner. He's written Broadchurch, which has won BAFTAs, and he wrote one of David Tennant's best Doctor Who episodes, 42. This could be the greatest thing to ever happen to Doctor Who. But, by the way, a few people have been acting since Jodie Whittaker's casting. It seems like the show seems to be ruined forever, with people saying that they will never watch the show ever again because the new Doctor is a woman. Now, I can see this video being a controversial one, but this is something I want to do, so sit back and relax now, and hopefully put this to bed once and for all. The idea of having a female Doctor has actually been around for decades. It was firmly established by the 1980s that the character of the Doctor could change their face. Up to that point, 4 actors played the part. By the time Tom Baker announced that he was hanging off his scarf for good, naturally there was speculation as to who was going to replace him. Of course, we all know from the history books that it turned out to be that vet from All Creatures, Great and Small. But what if the producers went down a different road? What if the 5th Doctor was to be female instead? Well, it would certainly have meant that we would not be getting an outcry now in 2017 that the next Doctor is going to be played by a woman. Imagine in 1981, you watched the BBC News and you're greeted by the news that the next Doctor was to be played by a woman. I do wonder how people would have reacted to this. Supposing this did happen and we had someone like Maggie Smith, let's say, play the Doctor for a few years, I can guarantee that no one would care as great a deal about the casting of Jodie Whittaker as they seem to care about it right now, with all of the rants that have been going around, how people are angry about the fact that the Doctor is actually going to be turning into a woman for the first time in 50 plus years. I would hold my hands up and say that it wouldn't be a bigger deal, probably, if we had a female Doctor before now. And the reason for that is because people would have just got used to the idea that the Doctor can be a woman. I think the problem here is quite simple. For 54 years in the main show, the Doctor has been played by 13 male actors, and only now we are getting a female. Do I need to say any more? When Tom Baker was leaving the role, he actually suggested the role could be given to a woman. Ever since then, every time an actor has announced they are leaving the role, it has always been brought up so much to the point that it became a joke.
Oh yeah, I bet it's going to be a woman next time, isn't it?
Then something amazing happened. Anyone watching this old enough to remember the Wilderness years? Good, because I don't. I was only made aware of Doctor Who when it came back in 2005. During that long spell when Doctor Who was off the air, fans were treated to the Virgin New Adventures novels, Doctor Who magazine, which had their own comic adventures, and still do, and in many other mediums. After the shit TV movie aired, I think some people really thought that Doctor Who was dead. I've already touched upon this in a previous retrospective, so as soon as you're done with this video, you can watch Retrospective 11. I explain a lot more in that video. People just couldn't take it seriously anymore, and that may explain why we've gotten the utterly ridiculous but brilliant comic relief special known as The Curse of Fatal Death. Now, the writing of this is pure genius. It's Doctor Who parodying itself, basically. Again, already done a review of this on my channel, so after you've done with this video, check that out as well. It parodies the show so well that it is actually better than a few episodes of the real show, which is kind of sad, really. Just as long as you don't take everything seriously and realise that all of this was done for comedy and, more importantly, charity. Wait, why am I talking about this again? Oh yeah, because at the very end, the Doctor regenerates into a woman, and it's none other than Joanna Lumley. And in this, she plays the 13th incarnation.
Coincidence? I think not!
It's like this has become a blueprint for writers to have a look and take ideas from. Let's examine what other ideas have actually transpired in the show since this aired. The Daleks have chairs, even though they don't have the ability to sit down. Not that we know of, anyway. Check. The Doctor gets married. Check. The Doctor retires. Check. Richard E. Grant played the Doctor again in Scream of the Shalka, as well as Simeon in the actual show. Check. There's a lot of wibbly wobbly timey wimey shit going down.
Timey what? Timey wimey?
I've no idea where he picks that stuff up.
Definitely check. The Master has an apparent fondness for the Doctor. Check, I guess. The Master gets breasts.
They're not breasts, okay? They're Dalek bumps.
Check. And most importantly, the Doctor has become a woman. So there you have it. There's no reason why you should hate on this idea, because it was something which is already established. I don't see rants online about why the Daleks have chairs. Okay, maybe with the Master becoming a woman, which I admit I found really hard to get used to when that whole idea was first introduced back in 2014. Who was it who even wrote The Curse of Fatal Death? Whoever it was. It must have been a genius.
Oh.
So it was the guy who pushed it forward. The man who became showrunner and utilised these ideas into the show and made it canon. It really was Moffat who made it possible, whether you love him or loathe him. After all, it was established as far back as the Doctor's wife. The Time Lords can pick genders. In The Night of the Doctor, Lady Elystra asked the dying 8th Doctor if he wants to become a woman. He has made this idea canonical, and it is only through me writing this that I've realised this. It was staring us in the face for so long. I never thought that they would ever cast a woman playing the lead role, because they had countless opportunities to do it before. But what can I say? Maybe people may have reacted more negatively to it if a female was cast in the 1980s as opposed to now. Oh, wait, in 2017, gender equality apparently still doesn't exist. Point is, it has been written in the show's mythology that Time Lords can change their gender as well as their face and personality. The Master has done it. We actually seen the General do it in the ever so divisive Hellbent. Now, the Doctor has done it. In hindsight, it may have been too safe a choice to go for another male actor to play the 13th Doctor. So, with the foundations already made for Chibnall, he took the decision to finally give us our first female Doctor, and I think that it is brilliant. It's time to move forward and embrace change. It's one of the main narratives of the show. This news has got everyone talking, whether they are fans or not, or whether they like it or not, even though I think this could have been done much sooner than it actually has been. In my most full-hearted, honest opinion, it really is about time, and I'm really excited and see how the character will react to being a woman after inhabiting 13 male bodies for over 2,000 years. We finally have a canon female Doctor. Before I go, let's take a look at other female actors who have played the Doctor unofficially. As I said earlier, Joanna Lumley did it in 1999. Paul O'Grady's Lily Savage did in 1996 on the Lily Savage Show. Pauline Quirk played a female version of the Fourth Doctor for a BBC Choice advert in 1998. Even Catherine Tate, who played Donna Noble in the actual TV show, played a version of the 10th Doctor in 2008, just for laughs. You know, the very Doctor of which Donna travelled with, of course. Finally, the other most notable to play the Doctor is Arabella Weir. Weir played an alternative version of the Doctor in a Big Finish audio play called Exile. It is part of the Unbound series of stories, which gave us a different scenario to events that played out in the series. As such, in this audio, after being put on trial by the Time Lords at the end of the War Games, the Doctor commits suicide and regenerates into a female form. The Doctor is still exiled to Earth, but in this universe, the Doctor does not end up working for UNIT and tries to have a so-called normal life on Earth. It sounds like a pretty dark story, and it's something which I actually quite fancy listening to one day. Up until the announcement of Jodie Whittaker as a 13th Doctor, this was probably the most serious portrayal of a Doctor which was played by a woman, as the others were arguably more for a comic effect and they weren't taken too seriously. I think that because of that and the fact that we're probably hardly is anyone who's heard of this audio called Exile, some people may have a blinded view that a Doctor should always be played by a man. A few years ago, you may have asked me if the Doctor would be played by a woman. Do you want to know what my answer would have been? It would have been a no, because I would have found the idea ridiculous. But having thought about it, after it was revealed that it was possible for the Doctor to regenerate into a female form, I started to warm to the idea. Missy turned out to be a popular character for some people, and the addition of her character made it even more likely that one day the Doctor would become a woman. I think any other outcome this time around would have been too safe. I don't think I would have reacted as positively and be as excited as I am for this with a female Doctor as I would have been with just another male playing the role after Peter Capaldi left. I posted a video on the day it was announced, and that said it all. Doctor Who is braving the unknown and continuing to do something new. In her latest incarnation, even more wonders will be explored. Except we are forgetting something. That whole PC brigade thing people are going on about, I don't seem to find people complaining about it on another sci-fi franchise having a female protagonist 20 years ago. I am, of course, talking about Captain Janeway in Star Trek Voyager, which started in 1995. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment and share. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and get notifications every time I post some new content. See you next time.